Salibonani, Unjani, Makadi, hello everyone, welcome back to another broadcast of the African Diaspora News Channel with me, your host, Maritawana Sitole Imali. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you're most definitely welcome. Please do not hesitate to like, share, hit that notification bell, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, unfortunately, I have sad news today of a rapper who was based in the UK, who went by the name Chris Kaba, who was actually not a suspect and was being followed by a police car without lights or sirens before he was shot by a firearms officer. An inquest into his death has been told. Now, the unarmed father-to-be was killed by a single shot to the head, fired by an officer referred to only as NX-121. Now, obviously, they're trying to protect the identity of the white police officer in a residential road in Streatham on 5 September 2022. Southwark Coroner's Court heard on Tuesday morning. Now, in the aftermath of this incident, the Metropolitan Police said Kaba had been shot after a vehicle pursuit. The Independent Office for Police Conduct, which is investigating the shooting, made no mention of a chase in a summary of the incident read to the court. Now, the IOPC-led investigator Dean Brown confirmed the Audi that Kaba had been driving was believed to be linked to a firearms incident that took place the previous day. He told the inquest the Audi was followed and that no lights or sirens were actually used, which is obviously weird. He also said that Kaba was actually not a suspect. Now, Brown then told the court, and I quote, "A briefing was provided to officers prior to their shifts on 5 September in which the Audi was brought to their attention as being potentially associated with the firearm incident from the previous day. Mr. Kaba's name was not included in this briefing." Now, officers sent a police radio message at about 9:53 p.m. that they were following the vehicle, the inquest heard. Brown then said officers continued to follow the Audi until 10 p.m. The officers did not activate their lights or sirens. Kaba made a left turn into Kirkstall Gardens in Streatham, where a marked police armed response vehicle was waiting occupied by Officer NX-121, Brown then told the inquest. He then added, once Mr. Kaba made the left turn, the decision was taken to perform an in-line extraction. Armed officers exited their vehicles and approached the Audi. Now, the evidence suggests that contact was made between the Audi driven by Mr. Kaba and the police vehicles. The evidence further suggests that Officer NX-121 was standing to the front of Mr. Kaba's vehicle, and a single shot was fired by Officer NX-121, actually piercing the front windscreen of the vehicle Mr. Kaba was driving. Now, Brown then added officers at the scene provided first aid to Mr. Kaba before he was taken to King's College Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 12:16 a.m. The inquest heard that Officer NX-121, who has been suspended from duty, had been notified that they are under criminal investigation for the offense of the senior coroner, Andrew Harris, asked if anyone had been charged with homicide, and Dean replied, not at this time. Now, he said the investigation was extensive and ongoing and was expected to take 6 to 9 months to actually complete. He added the investigation is still eager to hear from anyone who has not made contact to date who witnessed the incidents. Now, in a statement on behalf of the family, Kaba's cousin Jefferson Bosela said, and I quote, "The family is pleased that in the statement, the IOPC made public some of its initial findings about what happened that night. Every new fact is a step towards justice for Chris." Now, outside the court, Bosela expressed alarm at the time it was actually taking to investigate his cousin's death. He also called for the police officer who fired the fatal shot to be interviewed under caution. Flanked by Kaba's tearful parents, Bosela said officers must be interviewed under caution immediately. "We have been told that nearly after a month, neither the officer who Chris or any other of the officers involved have been interviewed under caution." He also then went on to say that this should not take months and months. The evidence they need to make that decision should be available within weeks, which I totally agree with. An urgent decision on criminal charges is critical for this family and many others to have faith in the system that is supposed to bring them justice. He then expressed frustration again at the IOPC. And then he went on to finally say, while we had positive communications with the IOPC, at times our family has had to chase the IOPC for information or push them to do what they should be doing already, the best way for the family to have confidence in the process is for the family to be kept closely informed at every stage. Now, he went on to say we need answers, not just this family, but the whole of London. The whole of this country needs to know how something like this could occur. How can a young man sitting in a car unarmed be shot in the head by police in London in the year 2022? This should never have happened, and it must never happen again. We must never accept this as normal. Someone must be held accountable. We will not rest until the people responsible for Chris's death are held fully accountable. Now, personally, I believe that obviously these are race soldiers, because obviously Chris Kaba was innocent in whatever that happened the previous day when he was shot. He was obviously, as stated in the article, that he was actually not involved in whatever happened in the previous day. So obviously he was innocent and he was never a suspect, as they say. These are race soldiers, and race soldiers will obviously do whatever they can, to eliminate you, to get rid of you. They are tools of white supremacy, and they have an agenda, their own code, and they have a purpose, basically. So for him to ask, how can this be happening in the year 2022? It's been happening for a while, from what I understand. And just simply because you are black, and I've said it before, it doesn't matter how successful or popular you are, if you're black, you will always be a victim of white supremacy. Well, please do let us know what you think in the comment section. Please do share your opinions, and please do not hesitate to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the African Diaspora News Channel. And you can also find me, Maritawana, on Twitter and Instagram at Maritawana ZW. From me and the team, it's bye for now. Cheers!